everyone. Welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie. And in continuation with our Tutorial Tuesday, I wanted to work again on the Sky's the Limit bead box from Bargain Bead Box. And so today, I thought we would work on a necklace to match our bracelet and our pretty earrings that we made last week, and kind of tie it all together in a pretty collection. So I have started, as you can see, on the necklace. I've got it started, but I haven't finished it. So I'm using this really pretty pendant that came in the box, and I'm still deciding whether I want to do any patina on that, because as you recall, it's got all those pretty etchings in the piece, and I do want to draw those out. So I'm still debating on that. And then right now what I have laid out, I have strung a little bit of things, but I have the connectors from the mix, and I'm doing a really pretty 3-strand focal piece here. And then we're going to do another group of clouds and some more of these really pretty filigree pieces. And then I haven't decided yet how I'm going to string, but we're going to do string beads up this way. So what I have done so far is I used a bail for my stash, and I put the bail on here, and I used these beautiful crystal beads, and I also strung the rondelles, and now I'm going to string these gemstone beads. And I am using today some Soft Flex Extreme in a medium, and basically I'm just stringing these, and I'm attaching. I love to use these wire guardians. I don't know if you've ever used them, but they are really nice for working on jewelry, especially if you have movable parts, because it helps keep the wire from rubbing against your pieces, and I think it does increase the longevity of your piece. They're not something you have to use, but I do recommend trying them. I really prefer them, especially when I'm doing a multi-strand necklace. And so I'm going to show you on this last bit here. I'm going to open them. Let me see if I can scoot in a little here. You can see better. I hope that's better. So we're going to be using the same technique on this last strand, and then we're going to string. So I basically just cut myself some of this wire here, and you want to have enough to work with. So you are going to use more, pull more than you think you're going to need. It'll be easier to do your crimping and everything. Oh, pardon me. I'm trying to get a little more comfortable here. And what you do in the beginning, if you've never used these before, I'm going to show you right now, is you take your wire and you put your crimp bead. Whoops, come here, mister. You put your crimp bead on here first, just like that. And then you're going to add, I don't know if you can see, but these have little tiny holes. And you're going to, and then it's got a channel, a little U-shaped channel. So we're going to string through the first hole, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to follow the channel, and you're going to bring your rest of your end back through, and now you've made, just like you were making a loop, it's just like a little protector for your loop. So it's going to be loose on you until you crimp. Don't worry about that right now. And do hold on to your crimp bead, because it's going to try to slide off. And then what you're going to do is pick up the component that you're going to attach this to, and you're literally going to slide your wire and your wire guardian right through there like that. And then you're going to pop your crimp bead just like that. Now you don't want your wires to cross, so we're going to crimp this I do love these iron crimpers. Boop. I make sound effects when I make my jewelry. That was one of them. Boop. I don't know why I do that. It's just something I do. Sound effects, jewelry making and sound effects, just for you. Okay, so once you have this strung on here, now I'm going to add my gemstone beads. I believe these are frosted amazonite. Beautiful, beautiful bead. I love amazonite. And I don't have any rhyme or reason to the order of these amazonite beads. I just wanted a variety. I wanted some that were, you know, kind of blue and some that were kind of the yellow color, just so you could tell that it was a gemstone. My idea was to do kind of an ombre pattern, and I think when I do the stringing up this way, I'll do the same thing. I'll start with light and work my way into the darks. I think that might look kind of cool. I do love the ombre look. And if you're ever stuck for an idea, or you're trying to play around with color, you have a lot of different shades of a color of bead, that's a really fun way to play with color. So I'm not certain how many beads I'm going to need on here. I'm going to make sure that this hangs nicely. And I just love these. Love those faceted, those kind of diamond facets. Those are very cool. This whole box is beautiful. For those of you who got it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you ever thought about getting the bargain bead box, I highly recommend it. I think it's well worth it. Trying to find where the hole is there. There we go. Let's see. I think we're going to need a couple more. Couple more of these guys. And then I just hold it up so I can see, I think maybe one more bead. Now before I string it, or put it on the wire guardian, the other side's a little bit tricky. I'm just gonna, I just want to put it through here just to see how it's gonna hang before I totally commit to it. I think I do like that. Oh, let's make sure that's straight. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. So for the other side, let me pull this out. You're going to, I'm going to tell you right now, is doing the other side's a little tricky only because you're playing with trying to tighten it and not lose, you know, put a lot of slack. But if, for instance, you end up with a little bit more space than you want, I am going to put some bead covers later, some crimp covers on these sides. You can always add another crimp cover. It just looks like another bead if you have too much space. That's kind of a little trick that I use. You'll see what I'm talking about if I end up with too much space. But I'm going to put my crimp bead on here, and we're going to put another one of these. So we're going to, again, find the end and slide our wire through here. And we're going to slide, and then we have it like that. Just hang on to your crimp bead like I am, like that. That'll keep it from getting away from you. And then you're going to slide this down here through that channel. And this is what we have. So now we're going to string this on our component. Let's get our, here's where we have to tighten. The nice thing is that this wire, I love the soft flex wire. It slides so nicely. See how I'm pulling this? And it's really so easy to work with. I really love soft flex wire, pardon me. And now, here's the tricky part. So we want to keep this tight, and we're going to have to slide through our crimp bead. Can be a little fussy. Sometimes you just got to get at the right angle. There we go. And some people string through another bead or several beads, whatever works for you. I think that's what I'm going to do, just because I think that's going to be easier for me to I see the end there. There we go. You can do it. There. I tell you, I love these Xyron crimpers. They're so handy for so many things. If you don't have those, man, check them out. I think I got those on Amazon. And I know a lot of beading companies also sell tools. These are called Xyron crimpers. And they crimp, but you've got this nice pointy piece. And you see I got to pull that bead, and it really helped me. So it does way more things than just crimp. So definitely worth the investment. Now we're going to crimp here. I'm going to snip this off. We'll save that piece maybe for an earring or something. And let me finish my crimping. Nice. Okay, so we have our center component here. And I love these filigree looking pieces right here. I think they're so pretty. And in the kit, you get more. So you could do matching earrings with these as well. Just an idea. As you can see, there's plenty of beads left. I did bring my 20 gauge copper wire to wire wrap these components, which we're going to do next. And later I'll put on some crimp covers. So now we're going to put our components on here with these gorgeous, I love these cloud beads. I think they're so cool. So I'm literally just going to take a few of these and make some wire wraps. This is 20 gauge artistic wire, copper color. Hope everybody's doing well. We had massive storms yesterday in North Texas. I think the governor has declared 16 counties emergencies. It's just living in Tornado Alley is not for the weak of heart, let me tell you. If any of you out there are living in Tornado Alley, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, count your blessings, because spring is, we get hail, we get tornadoes, and fortunately, me, my dogs, and my mother were safe. But I saw in the news today, so many homes got destroyed. I just feel terrible for those folks. But I did hear that nobody lost their lives, and so we can be grateful for that. But the governor did declare 16 counties, I think, emergency disaster areas or whatever. All right. So that was our evening last evening. Tonight you'd never know what happened. It was sunny. It was cold today, but it was sunny. So I'm literally just wire wrapping this piece. And let's make sure this is turned the right way. I adore these cloud beads. I really, really do. I think they're so neat. So this is one way to do like a multi-strand necklace. There's so many different ways. But I hadn't done a necklace on Tutorial Tuesday in a while. And so I thought, you know, we would continue with our, I'm doing messy wraps, by the way. Those of you that are new to my channel, I like the messy wrap. I just think it gives more texture and character. I do neat wraps too, but I like the look of I like the boho messy look. Somebody asked me what my style of jewelry is, and the only thing I could come up with was boho glam. Okay. Now you're probably wondering why I didn't attach this. I do want a little more movement, so I'm actually going to use a jump ring here. You don't have to do that. You can attach that, but I find that sometimes adding a jump ring makes it less stiff. I want this to be more stable, so that's why I did it here. But you could certainly do jump rings in both spots if you want. That's up to you. That's designer's choice, but that's what I'm doing with this, just so I can have a little more movement on my piece. So now I'm going to come in with a jump ring and attach this really pretty. I tell you, I love these components. I need to go on their website and see if they have more. I really would love to have more of these in different finishes. And sometimes when you get on their website, they do have some of the same components from your box, but with different finishes, which would be very nice. I think they'd be really pretty in silver and gold too. I'll have to check that out. See what I mean by movement? Okay, so now we're going to do the other side. And get our cloud attached. Just doing these loops. Lots of loops. I do love this 20 gauge wire. I think it's way easier to work with. So I hope everybody had a good St. Patty's Day. It snuck up on me. All of a sudden, it's like almost the end of March. I don't know how that happened. I say that every month. I don't know why. It just gets alarming how fast time goes by. But I am ready for some spring weather. We have we've been putting out bird feed, so we have all kinds of birds showing up. And now the squirrels, I guess the word is out with the squirrels that we have food. So much charge as may, we keep catching the squirrels in the feed that we're putting out for the birds. But you know, I guess squirrels got to eat too. You know, they terrorize my poor dogs. My one dog, Cha-Cha, wants to eat the squirrel so badly. And I swear that squirrel just sits up there and practically does push-ups, teasing my dog. And then my other little dog, her name's Ginger. She's what you call a Chiweenie. She's part Dachshund and part Chihuahua. She barks because her sister's barking. She doesn't really want the squirrel. She just thinks, oh, it's time to bark. So we have lots of drama in our backyard. But it is fun to watch the birds. We have blue jays that show up, and we have woodpeckers and doves, morning doves. And it's really, really fun to watch. So this necklace kind of reminds me, you know, with the birds and the clouds. I'm thinking a lot about our little feathered buddies that have been showing up, munching down on all the food we've been putting out for them. Okay, so let's add this guy, and then we'll talk about stringing. Now, I haven't really decided how I want to string other than possibly an ombre, you know, to continue with the theme. I did pull out a few spacers from my stash. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I may. We'll just see. I'm going to string one side and see how I like it. That's kind of my method. If I string something, I'll do one side, and then that way, if I decide I don't like it, I only have to redo one side. So that's a hint or a helpful tip if you do the stringing, because it's easier to take apart one side only and start over. Not to say that it's hard to take apart a whole necklace and start over, but so here we go. That's really pretty. I'm really liking that. All right, so for our stringing, I just did, now this is a different tray I'm using here because I don't want the beads to go flying. And it has this nice little lip all the way around it. Let me pull out so you can see it. I think this is by Beadsmith, I'm sorry. And then, of course, I get these little pads, too, which I like. And now that I lifted that, I'm going to have runaway beads. It's beads. It's pinball. We don't know what we're doing. Okay. So now, decisions. So my thought in the ombre world was to use some of these really pretty quartz beads and then do a deeper blue. No, that's a little too dark, I think. So decisions. Do we want to go light to dark or do we want to go dark to light? I think we want to go dark to light. So let's do this. I haven't used these beads yet, and they're very pretty. And they look nice with these. So I think we'll do 5 of those. And then let's do, how many of these do we have left? I love these rondelles too. Let's see how many we have. Quite a few. We got a lot of beads in this box. I'm pretty happy about that. We've already made a necklace and earrings, and we still have to look at how much beads are still left. So then maybe we'll do this pretty rondelle. Let me just put 5 over here. And I'm just going to count out 5 for this side. Count out 5 for this side. We still have 4. I think I'm going to stick with 5, and we'll hold these back maybe for another pair of earrings. And then we'll go in with the quartz beads. So I think the quartz beads will be the longest. May do about 10 of the quartz beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Then the question becomes, do we want to put any spacers? I am a fan of the bead cap and the spacer. But in this particular instance, I don't think I want to do it between each bead. I think I would like to do it between each color change. Or another option would be to put a cloud bead between each. But then I would have to wire wrap that one. Well, not necessarily. But it does keep it more stable. I think I'm going to hold back on that. But that's an idea for those of you watching if you want to do a variation, by all means. So I've got these little pretty saucer beads, little spacers, and I think I'm going to do those. They do pick up this nice pretty copper. I think I'm going to do those between each color. And I think I'm going to do 3. I love to see them stacked 3 at a time. And then maybe at the end, we'll do some of these really pretty. I love the detail on those. These came from Bargain Bead Box also. They weren't in the kit, but I bought them one time on their website. And if you've never shopped on their website, one of the nice things is that you can get 30% off the whole month after you get your subscription with their coupon code. And, oh, you know what? We have these little birdies too. Maybe we'll put some birdies. That would be cute. Okay, so let's do 3. You're seeing my... I wanted you to see my thought process. That's why I didn't really plan this out. I think sometimes that helps people. It kind of give you a glimpse as to the method to my madness, if you will. And yeah, so I think we're gonna put the clouds. We'll do more fun stuff with the clouds another time. I like these little birdies, and you get a lot in this box too, so let's use some of those. Maybe, I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do these guys here, right when the filigree touches the bead. That'll make that separation. And then between these guys, we'll put a birdie, and we'll put a birdie, and we'll put a birdie. So we'll do 3 birdies on each side. You'll see as I start stringing what I'm talking about if that didn't make sense. And then these I just had out in case I wanted to add any more sparkle, but I think we got plenty of sparkle going on. So now we're going to do the same thing with this component that we did here. I'm going to use a wire guardian to attach my string, but we're going to use a whole lot more string, of course. So let me get that ready. This is a longer tutorial than I normally do. But, you know, necklaces take longer. So, again, we're going to take our crimp bead. And then let me scoot in a little, just so you can see that again. So I have my crimp bead and the little channels. We're going to put our stringing wire through the one channel, like that. And then we have to slide that through. Okay, and then I'm still hanging on to that crimp bead. We're going to slide this like that. Still hanging onto the crimp bead. Make sure your wires aren't crossing. And there was our attachment right there. Now we're going to slide our crimp bead. Again, make sure your wires aren't crossing. And we're going to crimp this. Okay. And fold that over. Fold that over. There we go. Now for the fun part. Well, it's all fun, but I do love to string. I love to just string the beads. I don't know about you, but that's my absolute favorite thing to do. I love doing all of it, of course, all jewelry making, but string's my favorite. So I think I said I was going to put 3 of these guys. I think somebody I heard calls those potato chip beads. I think that's kind of funny. They do kind of look like potato chips, or like those Lay's potato chips. Not Lay's, Pringles in the can, because they stack up so nice. So there you go with those. And we're going to put these really fun glass beads. I love the luster on these. This was just such a pretty box, I have to say. It's probably one of my favorites. Of course, I say that every month. But I love blue, so when I saw all the blue, I was a happy girl. I'm going to slide back out here. You saw the intricate part. All right. And a little birdie. I hope these show up. That's the one thing I'm curious about, because they're little, but they're so cute. That is adorable. Okay. Rondelles. Alrighty. Another little birdie. And let's put on our quartz beads. This is so meditative to me, I think. Touching the beads, or stringing the beads, you kind of get a rhythm. I like it. I don't know about you all, but I feel very zen when I'm doing this. Okay. So that's going to be plenty long, I think, that necklace. I like that. That's very pretty. I think I'll put another bird at the top. And maybe I'll just finish it off with 3 of these guys right before we... They kind of look like little totem poles. They're pretty cool. I did put way more wire than I needed to, but I just... You know, whatever I have left over, I'll use for a bracelet. Something in there. Can't get my wire through. There we go. All right. I think that's rather cute. And I like the look. So now I'm going to attach our... I'm going to use the toggles that came in the mix. And you can use a wire guardian again if you want. I am not going to use it at the top here. But by all means, if you want to, that is your choice. I am just going to string it on here just like this. And the only thing I would say is, even if you are using the wire guardian, make sure you give yourself plenty of... You don't want to make it so tight that your beads don't move around. And you also want to make sure that your loop is not totally tight either. Like, just make sure you've got some movement in there so that it can move around. We're going to... Let me come down here and crimp. If you know somebody that loves birds and nature and bird watching and all that, what a great gift. That's really a thing. I'm not really into the bird watching, although I have to say I really am enjoying watching the birds that come and feed in our... We have a big bowl that we put the feed out. Okay. So... Look at that. That is so cute. So I'm going to do the other side. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. But when I come back, you'll see the whole finished necklace, and you'll be able to see all the finished pieces. And then... Maybe, like I said, I haven't decided whether I'm going to patina this or not, but I may do that, and you'll see it. I am going to do a finished jewelry update, of course, when I make some other things with the box, because I have so many beads left over. I'm going to make some other things, of course. So I am going to string this other side, and then we'll look at the finished piece here in just a moment. Okay, everybody. So I finished stringing the other side. I think this turned out really nice. I do love the little birdies and the ombre look. Again, I am still debating whether to patina this or not, but we'll see. We will see in the finished jewelry update if I make that decision or not. But I think this turned out very nice. I'm very happy with it. I love all the different colors of the blue, and I like the ombre look to it. Of course, the little clouds, and this is a spectacular piece right here. So you don't have to do anything with that piece if you don't want to. I think it's gorgeous all by itself. I just like to play with my focal beads. It's just a thing. But anyway, I hope that you learned something from this. If you've never used the Wire Guardians, this was a good introduction to those. And a little bit of insight into my designing, how I think, my designing process, and what to do with these chandelier components if you want to make like a multi-strand necklace. So we covered a lot of ground. This was kind of a longer video. Thank you for hanging in there, for those of you that stayed through the whole thing. And, you know, if you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you. If you just joined us, thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber for a long time, I can't say how much I appreciate your support and your encouraging words and your kind thoughts. And I am so glad that I can inspire you. So with that, I'm going to say good night. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Be looking for some finished jewelry updates. I had filmed some this weekend, and the videos were not of the quality that I would like to publish. So I'm going to redo those, and you will be seeing those. One of those will be Lunar New Year from the Softflix kit, and also the great Tucson Extravaganza that came from Softflix. That's a really pretty Southwestern collection. So be looking for those later on in the week, and then I have some unboxings too. So thank you for joining me. Take care of yourselves and your families. Be safe. Let's all pray for some world peace, and I really, really appreciate you, and I will see you on the next video.